All right, we're back. After Hours with Jon Francois, 90.1 FM WECS, broadcasting from Eastern Connecticut State University in Willimantic, Connecticut. That was Beastie Boys, You Gotta Fight for Your Right to Party, in tribute to Adam Yauch, who I guess his stage name was MCA in the band, probably the head guy. He recently died of cancer, so that song was in tribute to him. But I have a special guest with me right over here, Gerald Cheveras. Cheveras. And I said earlier that it sounded like some kind of Mexican dish.
Yeah, right.
Which is nice. I mean, you like
Cool.
Mexican food, right?
Yeah, it was just Cinco de Mayo, so...
Yeah, it was Cinco de Mayo the other day. What is the reason of Cinco de Mayo? I heard that it was because people are dead and we like to celebrate dead people. Is that what it is?
It's... The Mexican people that I know said it's really not, it's not really a celebration for them, honestly. It's not really a legitimate... Not really a legitimate holiday.
So it's not like a Memorial Day for the Hispanic people? Because that's what I've been told in middle school.
No, it did have a little bit to do with the war, but not for the independence, but not to the point it is. It's kind of like other things, like how St. Patrick's Day is in a way. That's what I was living in California, and I had a lot of Mexican friends, and they basically were saying it was an excuse to party. A reason, not an excuse.
It's kind of like St. Patrick's Day, because I've always known St. Patrick's Day as an excuse for everybody to get drunk all day.
Right.
And the way I see it is, for some reason I see it as kind of an Irish Thanksgiving. You know, just a lot of Irish people just get together on the table and eat a lot of food that may or may not be Irish related. I don't know. I mean, I've observed some Irish people.
Sure.
But I never understand the tie between alcohol and like leprechauns and lucky clovers. I've never understood that. I mean, do you think that's kind of like offensive in a way, or?
I don't know, man. I think everybody's just looking for everyone's just fighting for the right to party.
Yeah, there you go. To quote the Beastie Boys. Nice tie-in right there. Yeah. Nice tie-in.
But my name actually, it's Greek,
mm-hmm.
but it does sound Spanish to a lot of people, actually.
Okay.
So, but it's actually pronounced Javieras.
Javieras.
Yeah.
Oh.
But but it's kind of been twisted a little bit, Americanized, and it's easier for people to say. But
I mean, I can't help but say that it has a nice Spanish romantic flow to it.
Well,
have you ever been in Spain? You look like you have been in Spain and performed in like Barcelona at the diners. You just have that look to me. I don't know why.
I've been in Spain. Yeah, I was just I actually was in Granada, Spain, studying flamenco guitar, and for the last 4 months. Nice. Well, I came back at Christmas time, and I'd been there before. And I've been to Greece, and I've been all through Europe a lot. But yeah, Spain resonates a lot with me with the guitar right now. I've been studying guitar a lot, and when I started studying the flamenco guitar, I realized that was kind of the most intricate and complicated guitar that I had tried to learn. So I just kind of really went with that a lot, and it's really cool and fun.
Now, if you had a couple of adjectives to describe the sound and the flavor of flamenco music, flamenco guitar, what have you, how would you describe
Passionate,
it?
fiery, romantic.
Yes. Okay.
So
kind of like the romanticism of Paris, but taken in a Spanish direction.
Sure. Yeah. A little hotter. Yeah. Definitely hotter climate, hotter feel. You know. I'm
thinking a mixture of Last Tango in Paris. You know that film with Marlon Brando.
Yeah.
And that film with the Woody Allen film with Scarlett Johansson.
Vicky Cristina.
Yeah. I mean,
it's definitely like that. Yeah. It's definitely that's definitely much more the feeling right there.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a pretty. Spain's a real fun place. A lot of good times. People are in a good mood. Happy. The music is fiery. The women are fiery.
Oh,
the food is delicious. The red wine's great.
As fiery as the women in Brazil, because I hear
it's a different style. Yeah, definitely. I don't know about that. Yeah, that's a good. You should have people call in and see what they say.
I would love to have
that's a tough one. That'd be a hard one.
Yeah, I would love to have people call in from Spain, actually.
Yeah.
If that's even possible, you know.
There might be some people listening from Spain around here. That'd be cool.
Could be. I mean, your sister called in from Spain, so if that can happen, then of course Spain can happen.
Absolutely.
But I want to ask you about something.
Sure.
I'm assuming you went to college, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Where did you go to college?
I went to Orange Coast College in Santa Ana, California, and I also went to UConn. I went to Manchester Community College. I went to the University of Granada.
So you went to a variety of different schools.
I did, yeah.
Was it because you wanted to just get a variety of experiences, or was it because you weren't finding your niche somewhere and you wanted to keep on trying?
I kind of, I didn't feel like school was real traditional, or I wasn't really traditional in the way of the student. I first went to Los Angeles to go, and I went to a private music school.
Yeah.
And I felt like school. On the other hand, I feel like you can go to school for all your life. I really like it. I don't really know if you just go to school and get a degree and then find a job in that. I think it's a learning process. So yeah.
Now, the art community, and I'm not just saying like visual arts like drawing. The art community, whether you're acting or singing or performing, they're very divisive as far as what school can give to them. There are some artists that say, it's too formal, it's too restrictive, it's not allowing me to breathe and just experiment, so I'm going to do that on my own, maybe go out on the streets, put my name out there my way. And then there are other artists who are like, no, I mean, you're just going to be a kid who doesn't know what he's doing if you're going out there without any formal training whatsoever. So you have to have that formal training. It's like what they say about you have to follow the rules before you can break them.
Right.
Know the standards, know where you got inspired from, know the original composers, and then from there try to meld your own personality. I mean, what do you think? How's your opinion on that?
I think it depends on the person. I think there's a lot of raw talent out there, and some people are in the right place at the right time, and they make the connection and they meet the right people. I also have met a lot of musicians and artists, like you said, art in general, that have just they've been fortunate enough through school where they've learned a lot of techniques, whether it's singing or drawing or writing, and they've come to this place where school's really helped them and developed them, and then it's just led them right through it. I think there's no rule to say for that.
Yeah,
it could go either way. That's why I kind of like both. I feel like it's been really cool. I lived in Hollywood even for a while, just playing in bands and doing things. Yeah, and I learned a lot that way, but then I felt like I got a lot from school, especially not to keep going back to Spain, but in Spain I was just like, wow, these guitarists are amazing. If I could take some lessons for a few months, at some private school with some, professor of guitar, that'd be amazing. I learned stuff there that I would have never learned if I had not done that.
So when because I have constant dreams of being in Hollywood someday. When you were there, was it more of a fun experience where you got to meet lots of people, play in lots of bands, or was it more of like I got to see the reality of the business as far as rejection, as far as who's the best, who has to come out on top, who has to go to what extreme to get the big gig? Like what did you like?
It's both. It's a lot of all of it. I learned a lot. It was a really good experience. There's definitely some things you have to do that, you make some compromises to be in Hollywood. But then also, I mean, if you're really, really good, you meet the right people. I had some really great experiences, learning. I got to play with a lot of great people. I got to do a lot of studio sessions. I got to play in some of the best clubs in Hollywood. And, I'm still, I mean, it's ironic that I'm here right now in Willimantic, but it's cool, it's a good stopping off point right now. I feel really good about being here. But I think being in Hollywood, you get to see it all. There's definitely the business end of it. It's tough right now. It's kind of tough. Yeah. Definitely, especially with the internet and everything.
Yeah.
But that also makes it good. You also can do, that's what I'm starting to learn, is to do a lot of it myself, and you don't have to compromise as much. Yeah. So.
That's good. That's good. But yeah, we were talking about college for a second, and this was something that I was thinking of. I don't know if you ever lived on campus during college. If you ever lived on campus, this was something that I posted up on my group page earlier, and I just wanted to get your opinion on this. The whole gender situation, how guys and girls are not roomed together for obvious reasons, meaning that a lot of parents, a lot of faculty might think, okay, they're just going to sex it up. It's not going to be great. It's not going to be fun. It's just going to be a lot of babies all over the place. So we're not going to do that. And what I thought of was, wait a minute, what about people who are not straight? Meaning, what about gays and lesbians and so forth, who like the same sex and could be doing the same thing? I mean, is assuming. I mean, I've been thinking, like, are they assuming that there are not as much gays applying to the campus, or is it just their way of saying, hey, we're gay friendly, so if you guys want to do some things, fine. We don't want to seem like we're anti-gay rights or something like that. I don't know. It's just something that I feel like has never been answered in all the years and all the history of college dormness. And I just wanted to know what your opinion on that was. For some reason.
Yeah, I never lived on campus actually, but I think it's pretty ridiculous, and it's unfortunately I think it's a lot of fear. It's fear-based. I mean, the students are at least 17, 18 years old, most of them, when they first come on. They're like, okay, a lot of them are like peeking out sexually, or they're gonna have sex anyway. I think it's cool to live together, guys and girls and everything. I don't really understand. I mean, if people are gonna have sex, they're gonna have sex. You know what I mean? They can have it in the car, or wherever they want. I think that it would be better if they mixed the dorms. Myself, I think so, because I don't know. I mean,
because they preach safe sex, they hand out the free condoms and the health services, but parents are still like, no, I don't want my child to become some slut. I don't want them to use an excuse to.
I think, unfortunately, it's probably the schools being afraid, that they're going to they get sued if someone gets pregnant, if someone gets too drunk and then they have sex and they say they were raped, and, this could have been avoided if they weren't living together.
Exactly.
I think it's, like I said, I think it's fear-based.
Yeah.
I think there's things, I think that the universities are such a, they're such a big part of society that they're forced to protect themselves. They have to. And I mean, I feel like it's become too much of a business. I think it should be a little more liberal. I mean, because like you said, who's to say, these two, gay guys, put in that they want a room together, they're going to get the room together probably, no problem, and what, who's going to say what they can or can't do,
Well, a friend of mine said that I guess at some schools they have what's called gender housing, which is specifically towards the LGBT community, and that's basically saying, okay, if you're gay and you're not so comfortable rooming with the same sex because of sexual situations that might happen, then you're free to room with the opposite sex. That could make you more comfortable. So, it can go all over the place. I mean, really, as far as not having guys and girls room together, like having them assigned together, I don't think it really helps, because you're always going to have those couple of guys that are like, oh, yeah, I am lonely and I'm horny tonight, so I'm just going to invite my girlfriend over, and nobody's going to give a crap because it's just my room, and the faculty, the people who head up the residential life, they already have their own problems. They have their own things to worry about. And also, you can have that situation where the girlfriend doesn't have a place to live. She got kicked out of her parents' house, or she got kicked out of her dorm because of some weird peer pressure drinking situation, and she needs to be with her boyfriend. So there's all these situations that can come in where, you always end up having like the opposite sex come in, and I don't know, I just think it's pointless.
I think it's pointless.
And actually, I heard I can't say names specifically because they would probably kill me, but I don't even know their names. I'm blanking out on their names, so I don't even know what I'm talking about. But I heard that this guy had his girlfriend rooming in with him for, I guess, a year or more or so. The girlfriend, kept on commuting on campus back and forth, and some nights she was like, all right, I don't feel like commuting, I'll just stay the night at your place. And all of a sudden the school just found out, and they're planning to just do some like weird stuff where, they report the guy or they report the girl, and this is just a couple weeks before they're graduating. So that's just...
Yeah, that's terrible. I mean, it's like, I don't know. I mean, most kids are like having sex by the time they're 16.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just, what are you going to do? It's ridiculous. I mean, those kind of rules, that's what I'm saying about, like, it's too bad that it's all fear-based, because, I mean, that has nothing to do with someone graduating or not graduating, someone sleeping over someone's house. How much money are those kids' parents paying for them to go to school, to have a place to stay?
Yeah.
I think it's really silly.
It is.
I think that the schools should worry about the education.
Sure.
You know,
sure.
And let their parents and their kids make their own decisions.
I can't agree with you more on that. All right, we're gonna play, some music, and we'll be right back with more chat with Gerald. He's a great musician. We're gonna have him play on the show a little bit later, so please stay tuned for that. And once again, thank you for coming on. I really appreciate it.
To be here.
And
did everyone see the moon out there tonight?
I heard it was a supermoon.
It's a supermoon.
I thought my friend was making that up, like for real. Yeah. When he said supermoon, I thought that just sounds like some kind of an anime. That sounds like kind of a weird Japanese cartoon thing.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool out there, though. It's pretty big. It looks pretty super.
So it's basically the brightest full moon that we've ever seen. That's what it means.
Something like, or it's the closest. It's the closest to the Earth. It's definitely pretty bright. You know, it seems like it's a little bit closer. I think yesterday was really the supermoon, supposedly, but today looks pretty super and bright to me too.
Yeah, because I saw this news story on Google where NASA said tonight's full moon is going to be super, and I was calling out my friend on it, saying, okay, no, there's no such thing as a super moon. I don't think they're calling it a super moon. They're just saying the moon is going to be super because it's bright. So stop calling it a super moon. Stop sounding like a child. But, I've been proven wrong for like the millionth time, again, because I don't look up my facts. But, yes, so are you a big fan of Gym Class Heroes by any chance?
I can deal with that. Sounds good.
That's okay. I'm not a big fan of them either. I just thought, hey, it's a current song.
That's great.
The younglings might be tuning in.
That's
so
cool. No, absolutely.
Yeah, so I'll hear a little bit of Gym Class Heroes, and we'll be right back with more discussion. It's After Hours with Jon Francois with special guest Gerald Javieras. Beautiful. Either way, you're great to tolerate me, by the way. I'm not really good with pronouncing anything.
You're doing a great job.
Oh, thank you so much. That warms my heart a lot. You don't know how much that means to me. I don't mean to sound sarcastic. It's just...
I'm glad I can warm your heart.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
All right, so got everything loaded up.
Let's hear it.
Let's hear it.
My heart's a stereo. It beats for you, so listen close. Hear my thoughts in every